The emotional truth most cat owners never notice. Your cat has probably tried to tell you that you are family many times already. The problem is that cats almost never express love in ways humans immediately understand. Their affection is quiet, subtle, hidden inside behaviors that most people ignore every single day. People often say cats are cold, distant, emotionally detached, but experts in feline behavior explain that this idea is deeply misunderstood. Cats are not emotionless animals, they are survival-oriented animals. Trust is extremely serious to them. In the wild, trusting the wrong presence can mean danger, stress, or death. That instinct still exists inside the domestic cat, sleeping peacefully in your home today. This is why cats do not immediately give their hearts away. Researchers who study feline psychology observed that cats build emotional bonds slowly through repetition, observation, and safety. Before a cat truly trusts someone, he watches everything. Your voice, your movements, your routines, the way you approach him, the energy you bring into the room, and while you think nothing important is happening, your cat is silently deciding whether your presence feels safe enough to lower his emotional defenses. Most people never realize the exact moment this changes. One day, your cat begins following you into quiet rooms for no reason. He waits outside the bathroom door, he sleeps closer to your body. He watches you from a distance with calm eyes instead of alert eyes, tiny behaviors, almost invisible behaviors. But specialists explain that these actions can reveal something emotionally profound happening inside your cat's mind. Because cats do not casually relax around people, a cat that truly trusts you is doing something psychologically enormous. He is turning off survival mode in your presence, and that is what makes these signs so emotional. Dogs often show affection loudly. Cats show affection silently. A dog may jump, bark, or demand attention. A cat chooses something far more vulnerable. He quietly places himself near you when his instincts tell him he should stay cautious. That decision carries emotional weight most people never notice. Scientists who observe social bonding in domestic cats found that many felines create attachment patterns very similar to emotional dependency behaviors seen in close family groups. Some cats even develop routines centered entirely around the person they trust the most, not because they need food, not because they are dependent, but because emotional safety becomes attached to that human presence. And this is the heartbreaking part. Many cat owners only understand how deeply they were loved after the silence arrives. After the footsteps disappear from the hallway, after nobody waits behind the door anymore, after the quiet little shadow that followed them through the house is suddenly gone. In this video, you are about to discover 5 behaviors that reveal your cat may no longer see you as just the person who feeds him. To him, you became part of his emotional world. Some of these signs are so subtle that people overlook them for years. But once you understand what they truly mean, you will never look at your cat the same way again. He sleeps close to your most vulnerable areas. One of the biggest signs that your cat sees you as family happens when you are completely defenseless and probably do not even notice it while you sleep. Most people think a cat sleeps near them because the bed is warm or comfortable. But feline behavior specialists explain that the place your cat chooses to sleep often reveals where he feels emotionally safest. And when a cat repeatedly chooses to sleep near your head, chest, back, or beside your body, something much deeper may be happening psychologically. Cats are extremely vulnerable during deep sleep. Even domestic cats still carry survival instincts inherited from their wild ancestors. Researchers who study feline behavior observed that cats naturally prefer sleeping in locations where they feel protected from sudden threats. In nature, sleeping too openly can be dangerous. That instinct never completely disappears, even inside a quiet home. This is why cats become very selective about where and beside whom they truly relax. A cat that sleeps near your most vulnerable areas is not simply looking for physical warmth. In many cases, he is synchronizing his sense of safety with your presence, your breathing, your scent, your movements during sleep. Your body becomes part of the environment his brain identifies as secure. And that emotional meaning is far deeper than most people realize. Some specialists explain that cats who sleep close to trusted humans often enter deeper states of relaxation than they would in isolated areas of the house. Instead of remaining partially alert, they allow themselves to rest more completely. That is an enormous act of trust for an animal whose instincts are naturally built around caution and vigilance. Think about what this really means. Your cat could sleep anywhere, under furniture, inside hidden corners, on elevated surfaces where he can monitor the room. Yet many cats repeatedly choose the vulnerable space beside the human they trust most. Not because they have to, because emotionally, your presence became part of their protection system. And there is another detail most people never notice. Many cats position themselves close enough to hear or feel their owner's breathing while sleeping. Animal behavior researchers believe repetitive human breathing patterns may help some cats remain calm during rest. It creates stability, familiarity, predictability, the same emotional comfort family groups create for each other in nature. This is also why some cats become restless when their owner suddenly stops sharing the same sleeping routine. Their emotional sense of security changes. To your cat, sleeping near you is not a casual habit. It is trust without words. And the painful truth is that humans often misunderstand these moments completely. They move the cat away, close the bedroom door, ignore the quiet attachment forming night after night without realizing the emotional meaning behind it. Because cats do not expose vulnerability around people they fear. If your cat sleeps deeply beside you, especially near the most unprotected parts of your body, he may already see you as something much more than a provider. In his silent world, you became home. He follows you without asking for anything. One of the most misunderstood things cats do is following someone through the house without making a sound. No meowing, no asking for food, no obvious reason at all. They simply appear beside you, in the hallway near the bathroom, at the kitchen entrance, quietly sitting there as if your presence alone matters to them. Most people ignore this behavior because it looks small. But feline behavior specialists explain that many cats only develop this habit around humans they emotionally monitor as part of their trusted social environment. In other words, your cat may not be following you because he wants something from you. He may be following you because your absence changes the emotional balance of his world. Researchers who studied domestic cats observed something fascinating over the years. Cats often create invisible emotional maps inside the home. They know where people usually are, where routines happen, where calm exists, and where emotional stability comes from. And when a cat forms a deep attachment to someone, that person slowly becomes the center of many of those emotional patterns. This is why some cats quietly move from room to room after their owner without interacting at all. They are not demanding attention, they are maintaining connection. Animal behavior experts sometimes refer to this as a form of social shadowing. It happens when a cat repeatedly chooses visual or physical proximity to a trusted individual simply because that presence creates reassurance. In nature, animals that feel emotionally safe around each other often stay aware of one another's location without needing direct interaction all the time. Cats may act independent, but emotionally attached cats often dislike losing awareness of the person they trust most. And this becomes even more emotional when you notice how subtle their behavior really is. Your cat enters the room, looks at you for a few seconds, then lies down quietly nearby. Sometimes he does not even face you directly. He just stays there, calm/silent. Present. That silence means something. Cats do not waste energy staying close to things that emotionally mean nothing to them. Specialists explain that proximity itself is often one of the strongest social signals cats use with beings they trust, especially because cats are naturally selective with their space. And there is another detail most people never notice. Many cats who follow their owners are not looking for constant interaction. They simply want confirmation that their trusted human is still nearby. Studies involving feline attachment patterns showed that some cats experience visible stress when separated from humans. They formed strong bonds with even when food, toys, and comfort remain available. That changes the way you see this behavior completely, because suddenly, your cat quietly sitting outside the bathroom door no longer looks random. It looks emotional. Your cat may never say, "I missed you," the way humans do, but he may follow your footsteps through the house because your presence became part of what makes the world feel safe to him. And when a cat silently chooses your company without asking for anything in return, that is one of the clearest signs that his connection to you goes far beyond simple dependency. In his mind, staying near you already feels important enough. He shows you his belly, but not always for petting. Almost every cat owner has experienced this moment. Your cat lies down nearby, stretches slowly, and suddenly exposes his belly. Most people immediately think the same thing. He wants belly rubs. Then the hand approaches, and the cat reacts defensively. This is exactly why so many people misunderstand one of the deepest trust signals a cat can give. Feline behavior specialists explain that exposing the belly is not automatically an invitation for physical touch. In many situations, it is something far more emotional than that. It is vulnerability. The stomach is one of the most defenseless areas of a cat's body. In nature, predators instinctively protect their vital organs at all times. Researchers who study animal survival behavior observe that cats naturally avoid exposing their abdomen unless their nervous system feels unusually relaxed and secure. That means when your cat rolls onto his back near you, he may be doing something psychologically enormous without you even realizing it. He is temporarily lowering his defenses in your presence. And cats do not do that around people they fear. This behavior becomes even more meaningful when you notice the circumstances around it. Many cats expose their belly during calm emotional moments, after quietly approaching their owner, during peaceful eye contact, while lying close beside someone they trust. The body relaxes, the paws loosen, the breathing slows down. Those tiny details matter. Experts explain that feline trust is often revealed through physical relaxation more than exaggerated affection. A relaxed cat is a cat whose brain is no longer prioritizing immediate survival concerns. That state is extremely valuable to them instinctively. And this is where humans often make a mistake. People assume that if the belly is visible, touching is automatically welcome. But many cats are not offering access to their stomach. They are offering evidence of trust. There is a difference. Some cats enjoy belly rubs. Others absolutely do not. But even cats who dislike stomach contact may still expose their belly to humans they deeply trust, because the emotional message is not always touch me. Sometimes the message is feel safe enough to stop protecting myself for a moment. That changes the entire meaning of the behavior. Animal behavior researchers also observed that cats who feel emotionally secure inside a home tend to display more open body language overall. Stretching fully, sleeping with exposed stomachs, rolling comfortably onto their backs, these are all signs that the environment no longer feels threatening to them, and your presence becomes part of that emotional safety. Think about how powerful that really is. Your cat carries instincts built for caution every second of his life. Yet around you, he sometimes chooses to silence those instincts temporarily. Not because he is careless, because emotionally, he trusts what your presence represents. That is why these moments should never be ignored or treated roughly. When a cat exposes his belly near you, he is showing one of the rarest things a survival-driven animal can offer another living being: complete emotional defenselessness. And once a cat reaches that level of trust with someone, the bond usually becomes far deeper than most humans ever imagine. He slowly blinks at you when you're not paying attention. There is a moment many cat owners completely miss because it happens so quietly. Your cat is watching you from across the room. Maybe you are working, using your phone, or simply sitting in silence. Then, while you are not paying attention, your cat slowly closes his eyes for a brief second before opening them again calmly. Most people think this movement means nothing, but animal behavior specialists explain that the slow blink is one of the clearest emotional trust signals cats use with beings they consider safe, and the reason behind it is deeper than most people realize. Cats survive by remaining alert. Their eyes are part of their protection system. In nature, closing the eyes fully around danger would be a mistake. Researchers who study feline communication observe that cats instinctively maintain visual awareness around unfamiliar people, stressful environments, or situations they do not trust. This is why the slow blink matters so much psychologically. When your cat slowly closes his eyes while looking at you, he is momentarily interrupting his own vigilance. He is silently saying, I do not feel threatened by your presence. That tiny action carries enormous emotional meaning in the feline world. Experts in animal behavior often compare the slow blink to a form of peaceful social communication, not submission, not obedience, trust. Cats use it most often during emotionally calm moments, especially around humans they have deeply accepted into their emotional territory. And what makes this even more emotional is that many cats do this when they think nobody notices. Your cat may be quietly observing you from the edge of the room, his body relaxed, his ears calm, his breathing slow. Then comes that gentle blink, almost invisible, almost like a secret, because cats rarely express affection loudly. Their love lives inside silence. Researchers studying feline-human relationships found that cats often develop subtle communication rituals unique to specific people. Slow blinking becomes one of those rituals. Some cats even begin responding when their owners slowly blink back at them, creating a silent exchange of trust between species. Think about how extraordinary that really is. Your cat evolved from animals built around caution, territorial awareness, and survival instincts. Yet somehow, over time, your presence became safe enough for him to relax his eyes around you. Specialists explain that for highly alert animals, visual relaxation is deeply connected to emotional security. That is why cats almost never slow blink at people they fear. And there is another heartbreaking detail most people overlook. Many cats use slow blinking during peaceful moments they emotionally value most. Quiet mornings, calm evenings, silent companionship on the couch, moments where nothing dramatic is happening except emotional comfort itself. No demands, no noise, no performance, just trust. This is also why some owners later remember those moments so vividly after their cat is gone. The cat quietly watching them from the corner of the room, the slow blink they never understood, the calm eyes filled with silent attachment they mistook for ordinary behavior. But it was never ordinary. Every slow blink was your cat lowering his guard around you in the purest way he knew how. And when a cat willingly closes his eyes near someone, even for a second, he is revealing something emotionally powerful without making a sound. In his world, you became safe enough to stop watching for danger. He brings you into his private emotional world. One of the deepest signs that your cat sees you as family is something most people completely fail to recognize. It happens when your cat begins inviting you into moments he normally keeps hidden from the rest of the world. Cats are naturally private animals. Specialists in feline behavior explain that survival instincts taught cats to protect vulnerability through isolation. In nature, a cat that feels weak, stressed, injured, or emotionally unsafe will often hide. Silence and distance become protection mechanisms. That is why this next behavior carries such enormous emotional meaning. When a cat intentionally seeks you out during vulnerable moments, he is showing a level of trust that goes far beyond basic affection. Maybe your cat walks into another room, then stops and looks back at you as if asking you to follow him. Maybe he brings you to a quiet corner of the house where he normally rests. Maybe he suddenly becomes more attached when he feels sick, anxious, frightened, or emotionally unsettled. Some cats even create specific vocalizations they use only with the human they trust most. Most people think these things are random habits. They are not. Researchers studying feline social attachment observed that emotionally bonded cats often create what experts describe as shared safety routines with trusted humans. Instead of isolating themselves completely, they begin including that person inside spaces and emotional states they would normally protect. That changes everything, because cats do not casually expose their inner world. Think about what it means when a naturally cautious animal chooses your presence during weakness instead of hiding from you. That is not dependency. That is emotional trust at the highest level. Some specialists explain that cats who feel deeply secure with a human may even treat that person similarly to how bonded feline family groups behave with each other. Staying close during stress, seeking proximity during uncertainty, maintaining silent contact during moments of discomfort. And the heartbreaking part is that humans often misunderstand these moments completely. A cat becomes unusually clingy during illness, and people assume he is acting strange. A cat quietly cries outside the bedroom during emotional stress, and people think he is being annoying. A cat leads someone to a hidden resting place, and nobody realizes the emotional meaning behind the invitation. But from the cat's perspective, these moments are enormous, because he is allowing someone into the side of himself the wild would normally force him to conceal. There is also something incredibly emotional about the way cats choose who gets access to these vulnerable moments. Cats may tolerate many humans, they may accept routines with different people, but behavior experts explain that emotional dependency behaviors are often directed toward one specific individual the cat considers safest emotionally. The chosen person, the trusted presence, the living place where fear becomes smaller, and once a cat reaches that emotional stage, the relationship quietly changes forever. You are no longer simply the person who fills the food bowl, you become part of his emotional survival system. That is why some cats desperately search for their owners during storms, why they stay close during sickness, why they appear beside someone who is crying or emotionally overwhelmed. Cats are far more emotionally perceptive than most people understand, but they express that connection in deeply silent ways. And when a cat invites you into his hidden emotional world, instead of shutting you out, he is giving you something incredibly rare. The side of him that only appears where absolute trust exists. The warning most people realize too late. The hardest part about loving a cat is realizing how much he was trying to say only after the silence arrives. Because cats do not love in obvious ways. They do not always demand attention. They do not constantly seek approval. Most of the time, their affection hides inside routines so small that people barely notice them while they are happening. The quiet footsteps behind you in the hallway, the calm stare from across the room, the soft sound of paws jumping onto the bed late at night, the little shadow that somehow always wanted to stay nearby, and that is why so many people misunderstand cats for most of their lives. Experts in feline behavior explain that cats evolved to survive through emotional restraint. Showing weakness carelessly could be dangerous in the wild. That instinct still exists inside domestic cats today. It is the reason their love often appears hidden beneath silence, observation, and subtle proximity instead of dramatic displays. But once you understand their language, everything changes. You begin realizing your cat was never just sitting there. He was keeping you company. He was monitoring your presence because it comforted him. He was sleeping beside you because your scent made him feel safe enough to fully rest. He was slow blinking because he trusted you enough to lower his guard. He was following you through the house because emotionally, your presence became part of what made his world feel stable. And suddenly, those tiny behaviors no longer feel tiny at all. Researchers who study feline attachment found that many cats create emotional bonds stronger than humans assume possible. Some cats develop routines entirely centered around one trusted person. Their sleeping habits change around them. Their stress levels change around them. Their sense of safety changes around them. Not because cats are dependent, because attachment exists even inside quiet creatures. And maybe that is the most painful truth of all. Cats often love silently, so humans only recognize the depth of that love after it disappears. After the food bowl remains untouched longer than usual, after the hallway no longer has soft footsteps at night, after nobody waits outside the bathroom door anymore, after the bed suddenly feels larger, colder, emptier, then the memories begin returning all at once. The way he watched you while pretending not to, the way he always chose your side of the couch, the way he entered rooms just to stay close without asking for anything, the way he trusted you with the most vulnerable parts of himself. And you realize those moments were never random, they were love. A quiet kind of love, a careful kind of love. The kind only emotionally cautious creatures know how to give. So if your cat does these things, do not ignore them. Do not treat them as meaningless habits. To your cat, these behaviors may be the purest emotional language he knows how to speak. Because when a cat finally decides you are family, he gives you access to a version of himself the world almost never gets to see. And one day, when the house becomes quiet, you may realize those little moments were some of the most honest forms of love you were ever given.